We do have a special guest this evening. We've got Charlene, the Money Coach, here with us. So, this is an excellent time to, if you have not already done so, like, share, comment, subscribe. We are on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook this evening. So, please do go ahead and tag any persons in the comments that you think may be interested in our discussion this evening. And of course, this is all about the money. It's about how to recession proof your finances. So please do go ahead and tag persons in the comments, share the stream to your pages. We do know that this is, of course, a very important topic this evening. It's a topic that a lot of persons can relate to. We're hearing all of this recession talk coming up, so we are definitely going to want to get this information so that we can be well prepared for what may lie ahead. Okay, it's always good to be on top of our finances, even more so. Okay, so I see that we have Charlene jumping in here on Instagram. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm also going to go ahead and get you in. Okay, so Charlene, you should see that shortly. I have accepted that. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, all right, let me go ahead. Hi there, Charlene. So nice to see you.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming. Welcome, 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 welcome to our home. Welcome to a taste of the sunny islands of the Bahamas, but we're going to get into that. You're an island girl yourself, so we're going to get into that in just a moment. But welcome, welcome to the stream. Okay. All right, everyone. So, just a little bit about me. And for those of you that may not be familiar with me, I am Dr. Felicia, physiotherapist and certified health coach. And I help women that are ready for change to get off the hamster wheel of fad dieting and to get consistent with daily movement and with eating food that is good to and for their bodies. All right. So this evening we have a special treat. We have a special guest this evening. We have Charlene, the Money Coach. All right. So make sure get your notepads, get your pens, okay, get your devices. If you have an extra device, you're not going to want to miss this, okay? You don't want to miss a morsel of what Charlene is about to drop us. But first, a little bit about Charlene. Okay, so Charlene is a chartered accountant. How do you pronounce your last name, Charlene?
It's Tilbani. My husband's
Tilbani.
father was from India, so there you go.
Tilbani. All right, I like it. I can get with it. So Charlene Tilbani is a chartered accountant by profession with almost 20 years in experience and has worked in both public and private accounting. She's been working in the financial services sector for the past 12 years and manages the accounts of companies and organizations with millions of assets daily. She has been consumer debt free for 10 years and strongly believes that everyone should be financially literate. She also believes that everyone has the ability to experience a measure of financial freedom. I believe that too. Her passion for finance and personal finance in particular was birthed out of her own debt free and financial journey, and she now helps female Christian professionals and solopreneurs use their faith and money to tap into financial freedom while honoring God. She can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name Charlene Money Coach. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, Charlene. This evening,
Thank
everyone. We're
you.
yes, we're so good. We're so glad to have you, and it's so good that you're here. And we are so glad that you've come and joined us. So, for a very timely topic here, how to recession proof your finances. But, Charlene, you didn't tell us about your background here. Don't be trying to hide the fact that you're an island girl like me. Okay, although you can't hide it with your what people
Exactly.
would call your accent, right? You can't really hide. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you, like outside of your coaching work. Who is Charlene Tilbaney?
So, yes, I am Jamaican, if you can't tell by the accent. But I moved to the Cayman Islands about almost 14 years ago. Fun fact, I came here to spend 2 years. I came here on a 2 year contract, and I'm still here almost 14 years later. So, that's how life works. So, as you mentioned in the intro, I am a chartered accountant by profession. I fell in love with accounting from the get go, from the very first accounting class I sat in grade 10 or fourth form. I fell in love. I knew that that was what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't like medicine. I didn't like the arts. I didn't like history and all that stuff. It was straight accounts for me. So I went to college, then did my professional designation, then moved on to public accounting, audited some of the major companies in Jamaica. Then we'll get into that bit of my story at a later date. I decided to move to the Cayman Islands to earn more money, and this is where I have been ever since. Outside of coaching, you'll find me at my 9 to 5. Yes, I still have my 9 to 5 job. You'll find me crunching numbers, analyzing data, dealing with clients from all over the world. And outside of that, I de stress by going to CrossFit. Those on my IG page will see me sharing snippets from time to time about my workout. And outside of that, I de stress by reading mystery novels and just spending quality time with my husband. So that's me in a nutshell.
We feel like we know you now, Charlene. We feel like we really know you and we appreciate you opening up to us in that way. I love that. That was awesome. So, like, tell us now a little bit about your personal money story. You mentioned that
Mhm,
you have been consumer debt free for now 10 years, but what was
mhm.
happening before that? That's the real story. Give us the juice,
Yeah.
give us the tea.
So I left college, got a good job. I was doing well in my career to the point where at some points I was even getting promoted every 6 months. And with every promotion came, it was stress though. With every promotion came a salary increase. But for the life of me, I was always broke, always running out of money. By the second or third week of every month, I would have to be relying on the credit card just to buy gas to put in my car or to buy food, by lunch, because I was even living at home. So I didn't even need to buy groceries. It was just to take care of me. And I struggled to do that. So I thought it was an income issue. So I moved to the Cayman Islands because I got a better paying job. I left about 3 loans in Jamaica, came to the Cayman Islands with all the intentions in the world to pay them off, and I added even more debt because it was not an income issue, it was a spending issue. I knew the theory of budgeting because I budgeted religiously from my very first paycheck. I budgeted every single month. What the problem was, I could not stick to the budget because there was no strategy in place to stick to the budget, and the budget was unrealistic. So it got to the point one day in 2010 when one of the banks who I owed money to, they thought that I was going to abandon my obligation. I had just gotten paid. They realized that my salary could cover the amount that I owed them. So they essentially went into my account, took out what I owed them, and that was essentially my entire paycheck. So picture me well dressed, heading to the ATM machine to withdraw cash as per normal on payday, only to get insufficient funds on the little white piece of paper that the machine spit out. When I did my investigation, it was because the bank essentially took all my money. So that was my rock bottom moment. That was my Charlene, something needs to change moment. And I got up the next morning with a determination to do better. I did all the research. I started reading everything personal finance related. I started listening to all the YouTube videos. Podcasts weren't as popular back then, but essentially everything that I could come across as it related to personal finance, I devoured it because I decided that I needed to change my situation. It could not continue. I felt guilty, I felt ashamed, and I felt broke. So fast forward 15 months from that rock bottom moment, I paid off all of that consumer debt. It amounted to about 22,000 US at the time. I paid it all off and I have been consumer debt free ever since. No credit cards, no car loans, no unsecured loans, no personal loans, none of that. And it's the same habits that took me out of debt that I continue to practice today, and that has been able to keep me out of debt. So that's my story in a nutshell. That's my money story.
Amazing, amazing. All right. So that's really an amazing story. I think everybody has to have like that moment, like because until it really like hits you like a ton of bricks, it's kind
Mhm.
of like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Until like it really hits home like that. Like I can't get a dime out. They took the entire thing, all of it. They didn't leave me some lunch money, like nothing. They didn't leave you 20 for gas, like nothing. So you had that intervention with yourself, and like kudos to you for being strong enough to do it and then to actually stick to it, because that consistency is really a challenge for a lot of people in different areas of life. It really takes consistency in order to get
Mhm.
somewhere, and meet
Yeah.
your goals, whether they're financial goals or health goals. And
Yep.
it's really so important, but a lot of people do struggle with it. So, like, why did you get into coaching other people about their finances? Because you yourself got your finances in order and you could have stopped there, but you decided to take it a step further and to share your journey and to use that to help others. But why? Because you didn't have to do it. So why did you decide to do it?
When I started my journey, I because I'm a church girl, I didn't introduce that or say that in the introduction. So I grew up in church, and when I started my journey, my debt-free journey, I realized that the Bible is the perfect manual for managing your money. All the answers were already there. They were in front of me. So I felt upset and annoyed that no one taught me how to manage my money, even though it was all there in the Bible. And secondly, I realized that there were several women just like me who, on the outside, looks like they had it all together, but were struggling. And the reason they were struggling is because they did not know what they did not know. You can't do better if you don't know better. So after going through my journey, and because I had devoured so much information, and at my core, I love to help people. I believe in building those around me to make them better. I knew that I was called to help people with their money. The problem was, I didn't know how. I didn't know anything about running a business. I struggled with the concept of how to juggle everything that was going on in my life, plus help others. And so I essentially sat on it for about 8 years. But for the entire length of time that I sat on it, there was always this nagging voice in my mind that I was not doing what I was created to do. The voice just would not go away. My sister knows because she's the one who heard me lamenting day in and day out. And of course, when the pandemic hit and had all this free time, I could not ignore it anymore. So on September 1, 2020, to be exact, I decided to take it seriously and I just started talking about money very often on my Instagram page. That's exactly how it started. I Before that I used to post sporadically, like a post this week and then 3 weeks would go by and then make another post. But in September 2020, I decided to just go for it. And I started talking about it. Women were interested in what I had to offer. So I decided to start coaching. And since then, it has been the most purpose filled, enjoying, and not enjoying, the most purpose filled, enjoyable, that's the word I was looking for, enjoyable 2 years of my life, because now I see that all women need is accountability, a strategy, and someone who believes in them. So that's exactly why I started it, essentially to build my community and to quiet that nagging voice that perplexed me day in and day out.
Mm. Yes, the nagging voice. The nagging voice. I understand it, it just wouldn't leave you alone, right? Yes, the nagging voice has that way about itself. But that is really and truly an amazing story because some people would ignore kind of like that inner voice, but it does just get louder and louder. And,
Mm-hmm.
the stars will, it's like everything will happen until you just kind of like, it's like, okay, well, I get it. I will do it. Okay, I will do it. And you just kind of walk down the path that you're meant to walk down. And
Yeah.
then you do find your place of fulfillment, like you said. So that is really and truly amazing. So you're about 2 years in now. You
Mm-hmm.
utilize your time in the pandemic very well and during lockdowns. I do believe Cayman, how were things in Cayman during that time? Like it was
So
lockdown, a lot of lockdowns.
we were locked down, but we locked everybody out and had the whole island to ourselves.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. It was like no outsiders in
No,
for like
exactly.
2 years
So
straight. And I heard y'all did
so
very great on keeping your
we did.
numbers of cases
We
down
did.
that way. That's what I heard the strategy was. So yeah, that's why I asked. It's yeah, so thanks for confirming that for me. People in Facebook, can you confirm if our video and audio are good? I know how it was looking a little bit like it was sped up on my end on the Facebook. So please let us know in Facebook. I think we might be good now. We look like we're in regular time now, but you were going double time over here in
Okay.
in Facebook land, Charlene. But someone let us know in Facebook if we are okay now. And the Instagram looks like it's good. Give us an indication on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Donovan says yes it is. Yes it is. It's good. We're
Okay.
okay. All
Good.
right. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, and who is it that you kind of already alluded to, but you could kind of
Mhm.
tell us who do you primarily work with if you have a more detail on that.
Sure. So I tend to find that high achievers do well with my program. Those women who are serious about transformation, who know that if they don't shape up, their situation will never change. I find that those are the ones who tend to have the most success in my program. So I work with high achieving women. I work with a lot of female professionals, and I also have a soft spot for solopreneurs because many persons, many women especially, are realizing that multiple streams of income are is the way to go, but they tend not to know how to manage their business finances along with their personal finances. So I do work with solopreneurs to help them to develop a simple strategy that works for them. I help the women to establish great money habits and overall to tap into their own version of financial freedom. I don't believe financial freedom is something that is one size fits all. It's unique to each individual person. So I work with women to help them to define what their version of financial freedom is and allow them to tap into whatever that is for them.
Okay. All right. That is amazing. Okay. I like that, you said you made the statement of women that are actually ready to change. That's the key right there between being consistent and actually being ready to change because we can talk about change all day, but if we're not actually ready to do it and really make a plan and then stick to it, like sometimes you have to really like you said, almost like you hit rock bottom, and it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like this, it just got real, and I just have to, something's got to give, So, yes, I definitely can agree with that. So let's see. I think we have a bit of a lag here on Facebook. Did you want to try? Maybe let me take you out and put
Okay.
you back in and see if that helps at all. Okay. So one
Okay.
moment, studio audience, at home audience, uh, bear with us for a second because we're getting up on the section where we're really going to talk about, uh, you know, how to help basically, and what we're going to need to do in these upcoming months to prepare for any changes in the economy, further changes. And I really want you to catch it. So let me take you out, Charlene, for a minute and then put you back
Okay.
in. And let's see if it's better.
Techno-
Hmm.
You're coming. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat in the meantime.
Okay. I think it still looks a little off to me. But Facebook, let us know if you see any difference there. Okay, because I know I'm seeing it sped up on my side and you all are seeing it slow down out there on your side. So let us know how it is now, Facebook. So let's continue. So, what about some of the most common pitfalls? What are some of the most common pitfalls that you see women fall into with their finances?
There are quite a few. The most common, I'd say there are five that I was able to pinpoint. One is having all the goals, setting the fabulous vision board at the beginning of the year, writing down the goals in the planner or the new journal with no strategy behind it, no actual plan as to how to achieve these goals. And that is a major pitfall and a stumbling block because essentially all you have are dreams and wishes on a piece of paper. If you don't come up with a plan or strategy to achieve all of these goals, then frankly, it's a waste of time. You're not going to get anywhere. So that's pitfall number one. Pitfall number two is not having a clear vision of the future. Where am I headed with my finances? Why am I setting these goals? What's the reason behind this? Many women, they tend to set goals based on what they hear others have set or what their family members expect of them or what society expects, not realizing that it's not their own goals. So you need to have a clear vision of the future in order to make the goals meaningful. And by doing that, you'll be able to stick with them. The third one, and this is a major one, is not having a realistic budget. I can't tell you how many times I've met with women who have a concept or an idea of budgeting, but when I analyze their information, the budget does not fit their lifestyle or their income or their expenses. And by doing that, essentially, they have set themselves up for failure because the budget was set up in such a way that they could never stick to it. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, I can't stick to my budget. The budget doesn't work. And when I look at it, it's because the budget was not a true realistic budget for them in the first place. So that's number three. And I said I had five, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number four,
I'm
number
taking
four,
notes. Number four.
yeah, number four is not having the confidence to believe that they can manage their money on their own. For far too long, society has played the narrative or told the story that men are better with finances and women are spendthrifts. So a lot of women grow up with that mentality that they are spendthrifts, they can't manage their money on their own, and that money is complicated. When it's anything but, you just need the strategy that works for you, and you'll come to realize that money is simple. Once you get a few key concepts, understand them, you're good to go. And the fifth one, which plays on the emotional side of things, is Many women don't understand the role that their money story plays in how they act and feel about money. So many women struggle with money and they feel as if they are indisciplined, they feel as if they are spendthrifts, and they haven't taken the time, or they are not even aware, let me put it that way, that it's stemming from things that probably happened in their childhood or major life experiences that happened when they were adults. So things like divorce, things like sexual abuse, things like emotional abuse, even financial abuse. Some women undergo that. And because of that, they tend to act in such a way where they are not managing their money in a way that will get them to financial freedom, but it's simply because of things that happened in their past that's playing out in their money, in how they manage their money. So those are the 5 common pitfalls that I see with the women that I work with.
That is good. That was good stuff. Are y'all taking notes? Because I'm taking notes. Those were some good points. This wasn't the regular, like, this isn't all just stuff that you've heard before. Okay, there's definitely some deeper things here, and you're going into a very good topic. You didn't call it by name, but mindset. Things like limiting beliefs that
Mm-hmm.
people have around money, and these things, they are real. They do matter, and we do need to give them the attention that they require, because the same way that you said that you can be like a high earner, and
Mm-hmm.
you're making enough money but you don't know how to budget it, so it's just like it's slipping right through your fingers, and
Exactly.
you're still broke. Like it doesn't it's like it doesn't even make a raise, doesn't even make a difference, a promotion doesn't even make a difference,
Mm-hmm.
when it's just running right through your fingers, because we don't know how to actually manage. So that is very, very important. And you've hit it on the head there for sure. And I was wondering, do you primarily, or do you think that there's a higher proportion of any particular group, like single women, married women, divorced women, widows, who normally is like the highest percentage of who you work with? Or it's a good mix?
Mostly single women.
Um,
Mostly single
okay.
women. Yep.
Quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Very.
Y'all let us know if y'all are enjoying this information. Throw us some hearts and some thumbs up. Let's see something, y'all, to let me know that y'all are still alert and percolating out there. And that this information is doing something for y'all, okay? And don't forget, you still have a chance. You can like, share, comment, subscribe, tag persons in the comments. Let's share this information. We do want persons to know, okay? We want persons to get this information and get prepared for this recession, okay? And make sure y'all go ahead and give me a like, a follow. You can find me at I am Dr. Felicia. Let me know if you like this kind of information, okay? I want you all to be getting what you want and need from our broadcast. You know that we're here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're bringing persons like Charlene Money Coach so that we can get together all of the aspects of our wellness. If you're familiar with our live stream, you know that you heard me talk about the pillars of wellness. Financial wellness is one of those pillars, okay? It's hard to have mental wellness without
Mm-hmm.
financial wellness because you can't sleep at night, right? Then it can even start to affect your physical wellness because it can break your health down, okay? Because if your finances aren't good, you might not be sleeping at night, then you're not getting enough rest and recovery time, and then it could start to affect your physical health, okay? So if you ever wondered why we're talking about finances if we're a wellness, a health and wellness channel, well then this is why, because these things matter. And guess what
Yep.
else, like people got to have good finances so that they can enjoy and access services like physiotherapy. Okay, so like
Yep.
I'm here to help you, so I want to make sure that we're bringing in the right professionals and everybody so that we can really like work towards achieving total wellness. So I'm not just wanting us to take care of ourselves physically, that's not enough. Okay, we have to take care of our emotional wellness, our financial wellness, our mental wellness. So let me know if this is doing anything for you. Okay, Invite a friend. It's not too late. Okay. All right. So let's get into the meat here now, Charlene. This is the question of the hour. What are some quick strategies or tips that you can give us to help prepare for the recession?
All right, so let me tell you first, I'm not the type to give quick things. I tend to over deliver. so,
We love over delivery, my dear. Who doesn't love to be what is it?
so
Under promise and over deliver? Yes.
that's me. That's
Yes.
me. So the first, when I thought about this question, I I know that some persons might be thinking that recession, it doesn't affect me. I don't need to worry about it. Or if it comes, I just hunker down and let it pass, and then life will go back to normal. What I want the listeners to realize is that in every single crisis, if you look back at the '08 recession, if you look back at the banking crisis that happened 2008, 2009, if you look at even the pandemic, know this: for every crisis, somebody profits and somebody loses, right? Every single crisis. Now, you have to go in with the mindset that I am going to profit, or I'm going to come out on top, or I am going to succeed in spite of this recession. There have been news that the world is expected to enter a recession in the next 6 to 9 months. Who knows if it will ever happen? But if it does, I want persons to realize that millionaires are made in recessions. Millionaires, right? It's not necessarily that they become a millionaire during the recession. It's the things that they do during the recession that allows them to become millionaires after. So now is a key time for you to, first thing is to adjust your mindset and determine that you are going to come out on top out of this situation. You will not play victim, but you will come out victorious. That you will position yourself to take advantage of what's going on, because that's what the wealthy do. Take advantage of what's going on so that when all this is over, because it will end, it's a cycle of the economy. When it's all over, you can come out on top. So that's number one. As a segue to that, I would say you need to surround yourself with the right people. You can't be around negative Nancy's and those who always have something bad to say, or who are fear mongers, or who don't believe in money, or who don't believe in wealth. You need to find people who can encourage you to go after the things that will set you up for success. There are several groups out there, several pages, several communities who you can align yourself to and be open. You can become exposed to information that's out there that can help you to come out on top at the end of this recession. So, those are my first two major points that I would say in order to prepare for the recession. It has nothing to do with numbers, it has to do with your mindset, and it has to do with the type of people who you're going to surround yourself around, right? So, then practical steps now. You need an emergency fund. You need an emergency fund. You need to have stashed away enough money that can help you to survive for 3 to 6 months in the event that you lose your job. Look at it that way. In the finance space, we say 3 to 6 months of expenses. If you want to spin it, think about, if you should lose your job tomorrow, what would you need to survive for a month? Add up all of those expenses and then multiply that by 3, 4, 5, or 6, and that's your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses. And what that is going to do is allow you to be able to survive, pivot, handle anything that might come with a recession. Recession essentially means that the economy contracts, it shrinks. Think about it. If you should lose your job tomorrow, immediately you're going to stop spending money on certain things, right? That's the same thing your employer might do. Your employer might decide that, hey, I'm not going to spend my money on certain staff costs. So I am going to lay off certain employees, or I'm going to cut hours in order to save money. So in the event that you lose your job, you want to ensure that you have enough cash available so that you can survive, so that you don't have to panic or be anxious or worked up. You should have 3 to 6 months of living expenses stashed away in order to prepare for recession. That's number three. Number four, you need to, those who have a 9 to 5, now is not the time to quit. I'm from the old school. I'm the older millennials, they call us. So I don't believe that everybody is cut out to be a full-time entrepreneur. Everybody does not need to be a full-time entrepreneur, because if everybody was a full-time entrepreneur, then there will be nobody at the gas stations, at the grocery stores. There will be no physiotherapist, right? We
No.
need persons, exactly. We need persons in the regular 9 to 5. So, in order to keep your 9 to 5, remember, we're still talking about how to recession proof your finances. You want to ensure that you are making yourself valuable to your employer. Now is the time to stand out, to shine, to add value to your company, to help out on projects so that your boss will see you and think twice about laying you off if that decision should ever come on the table. Number 5 is to pay off your high interest rate debt. These are things like credit cards, unsecured loans, personal loans, any loan that you took that you did not have to put up a collateral to back it. That most likely is a high interest rate loan. You need to pay those off. And the reason is central banks the world over, their strategy to bringing down inflation is to increase interest rates. You see it happening in the US. I've seen it happen in Jamaica. Cayman economy is pegged to the US Fed rate. So once the US Fed rate rises, interest rates here rise. So that means that every time the interest rate rises, the interest on your credit card is going up. The interest on your unsecured loan is going up. If these high prices continue into the recession, then the interest rates are going to continue to rise, which means that you are going to be paying more money to service your current debt. So the way to avoid that is to pay them off now while interest rates are at their current rate, so that you can be pocketing more of your money, which you can use to invest. That's the key way that millionaires are made in recessions. They invest their money. They buy stocks when they are on sale. They buy stocks when the stock market is depressed. They buy quality stocks and essentially wait for it to bounce back, and then they profit off it. I could say more, but I'm going to stop right there.
You could say much, much more. Like, this is getting like, this is getting deep. In my mind, I'm already like, okay, we have to have Charlene back again. But before Charlene leaves today, we're gonna let you know what are gonna be the ways that you can uh, talk with Charlene, get in touch with her. If you want to get, more of a one-on-one with Charlene and get some of those strategies that Charlene was talking about earlier in the stream, most definitely be sure that you stick around until the end. And we are getting there, you all. When we have guests here at our house, we usually are on a little bit longer. So I hope that, but it's always well worth it, because they always give us such great information and we always have such a wonderful time together. All right, that was 4. So was there another tip after that, or we were going with stopping at 4?
I think I gave five,
You
five,
gave
yeah,
5
five,
already?
but or six.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
But
Amazing.
for those who are business owners, those who are, even if you're a solopreneur, small
Mhm.
business, now is the time to start looking at your expenses to see what you can reduce. When money is rolling in, we tend to overspend. We do it in our personal finances, we do it in our businesses. We buy stuff that we could actually go without. So, as a business owner, I'd say take a hard look at your expenses to see what you possibly could reduce, right? Number two, I'd say zero in on those goods or services that are most profitable, because now you want to be making as much money as you possibly can to stash it away. So when the economy starts to contract and persons are not spending as much money as they used to, you have enough reserve in your bank account to survive until the economy picks back up. And the third thing I would say for business owners is check your books and your records to see those persons who owe you money. Now is the time to collect, right? Now is the time to call them up. Now is the time to email, get as much money in the door, because when a recession happens, no one cares about settling their accounts receivables. No one cares about coming to pay Charlene Money Coach, right? Or Dr. Felicia. They are focused on paying their mortgage or paying their rent or buying food. So now is the time for business owners to take a hard look at all of those persons who owe you money and start calling them up. Bring in as much money as you can right now so that you can be in a position to pivot if necessary. And listen, if a recession does not materialize, you'd be in a much better
Great.
place. Yeah, you'd have all this money, you would have paid off your debt, you would be investing. So it's a win-win
You're still
situation.
winning. You're still
You're
winning.
still winning. Still
So,
winning.
Charlene, that was excellent. Thank you for even that little extra, because I'm sure that we do have some entrepreneurs that are on, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business owners on the stream, or even persons that would like to become business owners.
Mhm.
I do love what you said there. Don't believe this hype that everybody has to own a business or run a business. You do not have to. If you are happy on your 9 to 5, don't let anybody make you feel terrible about that. That's fine,
Yes,
because
it
everybody
is.
everybody is not like supposed to run a business or have a business. I don't mean to use the word supposed to, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement. Don't just feel like, oh my gosh, it's so cool and glamorous and everybody is doing it. But I always think, well, then who's going to work in all these businesses if everybody opens a business? Who is going
I
to work?
know.
So everybody is just going to be a solopreneur, I guess, because nobody wants to work for anybody else. Everybody just wants to work for themselves.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with a job or a 9 to 5. Do not let
Nothing is
anybody
wrong
like
with
make you
it.
think that. So those were some excellent tips, points. And Charlene, could you please actually define what is a recession? Because we hear this word all the time. We've heard it probably most of our lives, because this is not our first recession that I think anybody
Mhm.
on this stream has lived through. I'm sure everybody here has been around since 2008 or beyond. And so define for us what actually is a recession.
In layman's terms, it's when the economy stops growing. And some persons, some economists define it as when the economy doesn't grow or starts to shrink for two consecutive quarters, then that economy would enter or is classified to enter into recession. Of course, in the US, that definition is being used loosely. Some think it's for political measure or political gain. So they keep flexing the definition. But just think about contraction. The economy is shrinking instead of growing. And what that comes with is layoffs. It comes with reduced spending. It comes with, think 2020, when nobody knew what was going to happen with the pandemic and everybody pretty much shuttered their doors and nobody spent any money. Think that. That's essentially what happens in a recession. No one spends money. Your bosses won't spend money. You won't want to spend money. So that means that the ripple effect is going to be job layoffs, right? Tourists won't want to come. We are in the Caribbean. We are highly dependent on tourism dollars. Tourists won't want to come because they're watching every penny, which means the hotel staff will be laid off. The water sports operators will be laid off. So that means that, and you can see the trickle effect. So it's just essentially the economy shrinking instead of growing.
Excellent. What I really wanted to hone in on is that it's roughly about 2 quarters that it has to already be that the economy is down. either
Mhm.
stagnant or shrinking before it is actually declared to be a recession. So it's like,
Yep.
okay, it's bad. It's already going to be bad for like 6 months, quote unquote,
Yep.
before they actually say
Mhm.
recession. And then there's more,
Yes.
more depression of
Yes.
the economy. So I did want to just kind of like highlight that. And I think I've heard some
Mhm.
people just in general conversation saying, it feels like we're already in a recession. So
We.
that's kind of why you can tell like the people have kind of like reduced like their spending and things like that.
Mhm.
So that's really that is what occurs, and it's the stopping of the flow that then really pushes the economy into said recession. So
Yep.
just a tidbit there. All right, that was excellent. We're just gonna pause right here. We're gonna have Q&A shortly. Just gonna pause right here to give a couple of brief announcements. So please be aware you all concierge physiotherapy service is still available. That is for anyone that may be unable to get out of the homes, just either they're bedridden or it's just too difficult to get them out. Maybe they have had surgery recently and it would be more convenient to have somebody come into the home. Feel free to contact me. You can DM me or you can WhatsApp me, and we will make sure that we organize a caring and competent therapist to come out to the home to either you or to a loved one that may be in need of physiotherapy service. And also, one on one health coaching is available. Okay, so for anybody that needs a hands on, you need an accountability partner, you need someone to kind of guide you through the whole process of getting your health and wellness goals in order. Okay, I'm your lady. And of course, we will be back here once again next week. 7 p.m. Eastern is our regular time for our stream, you all. So, for those of you that do not already do so and you don't want to miss wonderful guests like Charlene Money Coach, because you will not believe the guests and the different programs and things that I have coming up for you. So, make sure that you're following me on all social media platforms. I am Dr. Felicia on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, if I'm not mistaken, YouTube. Let's see. Of course, my favorite Instagram, if I didn't say that already. Let's see. I'm still Adelaide Physiotherapy over here on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. It's going to be I am Dr. Felicia, or you could just look me up underneath my name. We're getting LinkedIn up and going. Let me know if LinkedIn is even a platform that you all like really like and utilize, because I want to know if to start like building up some more and putting some more information over there. So let me know if that is something that you would want to see. All right, so let's see, Charlene, do you have an offer or a freebie for the people? What else do you have
Sure.
going on? Mm-hmm.
So I do have a freebie. It's a money guide. You can access it at www.bit.ly/moneyguide22. And that will essentially guide you as to how to prep your finances before you start investing. Many persons want to go all in on investing, not realizing that there are certain key things that need to be in place prior to. So that guide essentially walks you through the major things that you need to have in place with your finances before you jump headfirst into investing. My main offer right now is a 1 hour strategy session. I go through any hot topic that you want to get help on, and we work for 60 minutes. You get your strategy. I check in with you, and essentially, you will have the key tools in place to thrive in that particular area. So, I have had clients who've used it to brainstorm multiple streams of income for their businesses, worked on their budget, come up with a debt payoff strategy, and some used it to get general money management tips. So, it's whatever you want to use it for. It's available for you. 60 minutes. Let's work together and talk. And then for those who want the extended transformation, I do offer 3 month coaching. That is my favorite offer because I see the most transformation with my clients using that program. But I understand it's not for everybody, but if it's for you, it's also available. And I do have capacity because I have a student who is just about to graduate from my program. So now is the right time to join.
All right. And where can persons find the links then to get a strategy call booked, or if they want to go straight into the 3 month coaching package, where would they be able to find the link for that?
Sure. So if they visit my Instagram page, they will see my link tree, which has the application forms for both. Or alternatively, they could visit my website, www.charlenemoneycoach.com. They will see the services there on the page as well. Same process applied. Click the relevant box, you'll see the application form, and I will be in touch in under 24 hours. I'm usually pretty fast with my emails.
All right, amazing, amazing. So we've got a couple of nice comments here. Let's see if anybody has any additional questions. This is your moment. Go ahead and drop them in the comments section, whether you are on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Go ahead and drop those questions in the comments. So let's see. Catherine says, "Thank you so much. Great teaching. Thank you for coming." And let's see. Rain says, okay, I see you're answering there. You caught that one, but I'll read it so that
Yeah.
the persons on Facebook can catch it. Uh, we have a question asking, do you assist with purchasing quality stocks? And Charlene's response is that she's not a financial advisor, right? Because Charlene is a chartered accountant. So unfortunately, she cannot help with stock picks. So remind persons, Charlene, like where your focus really is and what is it that they would get on that, like when they call you for a strategy call, what are they going to get? Just remind persons what you focus on.
I do everything except tell you what stocks to pick. Put it that way. Anything money related, I teach you about investing. I teach you how to understand investing concepts, investing terminology, other financial terminology, but I cannot tell you buy that stock or sell this stock because as much as I love you all, I'm not going to jail.
I love that. I have to see that. Like I love you, but I can't wear a jumpsuit for you, okay? Orange is not my color.
No.
All right. Orange is not the new black. It's not my color. All right. I can't go to jail for you. Okay. I feel it. I feel it. Okay. Any further questions? You can feel free. This is your final offer. This is your final chance to drop your questions in there for Charlene Money Coach, but just for tonight, because where can the people find you, Charlene? Where all can they find you online?
Where I love to hang out is Instagram. You can find me there at Charlene Money Coach. I'm also on Twitter, but I hardly tweet, to be honest. I'm mostly a lurker over there, but it's Char_Money Coach. And I do have a Facebook page, same name, Charlene Money Coach. So easy.
Okay.
Charlene Money Coach everywhere.
Everywhere. We like to keep it easy. It makes it easy
Yeah.
for people to find you. So that is fabulous. So look at that. We are right up on to the 8 o'clock hour. Thanks to all of you that did stick and stay with us. And I do hope that you enjoyed it tonight. Any parting words for the people, Charlene, before we sign off?
Parting words, I'd say don't be afraid. Don't give in to fear. Don't give in to the fear mongers or those who make you feel as if, it's the end of the world. It's not. The world has been here before and it has bounced back and it will again. But the key to surviving, and not only surviving, I like to say thriving because it is possible to thrive. The key to thriving is to prepare yourself before it hits. You can't save money when you don't have money. That's not the time to save and invest. The time to save and invest is when you actually have money. And it's not as hard as you think, it's not as complicated as you would believe. All it needs is possibly a bit of fine tuning of your current strategy, and you'd be on your way.
Fabulous, fabulous. I do think I see one question here from a little bit earlier
Mhm.
on the stream. So let's go ahead
Okay.
and check this question out here from Facebook. This one is from Muffy Williams. And she asks, what advice would you give to setting a realistic budget? So you talked about needing a budget that is realistic, but how do you set one that's realistic?
The first step, which most persons don't realize, is you need to know exactly what your expenses truly are before you set the budget. Most times, persons set the budget and then try to spend within the budget. But the key way to do it is to track your spending. And I always say start with at least 2 weeks worth of data. Track your spending for about 2 weeks and then use that information to set your budget. What it's going to do is show you exactly where you spend money, exactly how much you spend money, and it's going to give you the tools that you can use to create the budget that fits your lifestyle. My budget might not work for you. Your budget most likely won't work for me. So the key is to identify all of your spending. It's not just what you spend on food, it's not what just to spend on gas or for rent or mortgage. It's all the little things in between. Like if you have children, activities for your children, food for your children. It might mean uh, buying stuff for your mom, all those things that you haven't considered, but you regularly spend money on, those need to be captured in the budget in order to make it realistic. So I would start there, start the tracking. Don't be surprised if the numbers shock you. It always does because you're really going to see where your money is going. But the key thing is with that information, you become self aware, you can set the realistic budget, and you will also know what areas to cut back
Excellent, excellent. So, Muffy Williams, I hope that that answered your question. I hope that you are still on to hear the answer.
on.
Okay, but that was a very insightful response and a very reasonable response. Let's how do you do it? How do you set a realistic budget? Because like you said, you hear these things like, oh, you need to budget, but okay, how do you make a realistic budget? So very, very true, because you get frustrated. It's like setting a goal that you can't reach, a goal that's
Exactly.
unattainable, and then you frustrate yourself
Exactly.
and you say, forget it, I can't do it. This budget thing doesn't work. I can't do it.
Exactly.
Right? All right. So awesome, awesome. So let me, audience, please, we do all want to give, and I will give a special, special thank you for Charlene Money Coach for coming and spending her time with us this evening and for imparting so much knowledge for the single woman, the married woman, the divorced woman, the widow, the man in the crowd. Thank you all for coming and supporting us as well. Thanks to all of you that tag persons in the comments so that we would have more persons able to share in this information. So we're here to help each other. This is a helping community. Okay, we're here to address your different health and wellness goals and pillars. Okay, so we're not just a one trick pony over here, we're taking care of the whole woman. Okay, and thank you so much, Charlene, for coming and for helping us to do that this evening. We really do thank you so, so, so much.
Thank you for
And
having me.
you are welcome, and we do hope that you will come again. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So with that, everyone, this is, oh, let's see, one last comment. This is unique. Unique says that this was such an informative session. Oh, thanks, and wish you both continued success. Thank you so much, Unique. Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you.
And I hope that I see you on more of our live streams in the future. So feel free to come on in and join our community. The water is nice. All right. So, with that, you all, this is Dr. Felicia signing off, making the world better, one woman at a time. See you all next week, hopefully Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on these same outlets. Bye, guys.
Bye.